filter people, and welcome to another Bowtie Friday. And hello, Sash. Hello down there in Australia. How are you going today?
Very well from down under, Chris. And how are you on the top end?
Up the top end's warm and hot, Sash. I'm waiting for the cold to arrive, but it won't be for another 3 weeks or 4 weeks yet. So I'm still having my Gafe Yen Nungao. So my Sai 1 tan or my Sai Nam tan. So no sugar in it today. Very good, Sash. As you can obviously tell, my Thai has not got its tonal frequencies required, but I am learning the words. So a little bit like the other video that we did sometime, or it's coming up, like people mention Socrates when it should be Socrates. I believe that the Thais are listening to something similar when I talk the language. So I think I'm becoming a language butcher, Sash. So
that sounds like a niche industry you can really get into.
Yes. If anybody needs to butcher a language, it's going to be me. So
that's it. Excellent.
Oh,
look, I am sitting here with my iced coffee. I have these all year round. So shout out to all the iced coffee fellow enthusiasts and all the baristas out there servicing those with their morning habit.
Absolutely.
But no, Chris, you and I have spoken a few times about.
Do you think anybody, Sash, just quietly, do you think anybody's drinking a coffee in a habit?
A habit?
I'm just. Because when you said that they had a habit, I suddenly, my mind wanders occasionally, and I suddenly went, oh, that'd be interesting. I wonder whether anybody's having a coffee with a habit. Wearing a habit. Maybe they
Shout out to those with a habit.
Shout out to clergy, Sar. Shout out to the clergy this morning. And, hope everything's going well with them. And everybody that's following the cause, not the Irish rock band that was absolutely fabulous back in the 80s, Sash, but just any cause that they happen to be following. Excellent.
Any cause is a good. Yes, let's hope it's for a good cause.
Exactly.
I'm very keen actually to find or muster up a good recipe for these green. Is it matcha teas or ice matches that you do?
Yeah, okay, Sash. So here's the deal, right? The iced, the matcha latte. So it's a chai matcha latte. So you can buy chai tea or Thai green tea. Sometimes they use as well. You can use a Thai green tea if you happen to find that in tea leaves. But basically, you've got your French press, which everybody knows about. Shout out to Bodum, big supporters of this channel. But Bodum actually make a French press design for coffee, but it works equally as well with tea leaves. So you make up a brew of tea, and then what you do, Sash, is with your matcha tea. Generally, you make up a brew and you put that into your cup. And then once you've done that, you put in a tablespoon or a teaspoon of condensed milk in there as well. And it's got to be hot, right? Because your condensed milk's got to mix up. Then you also put in a teaspoon of evaporated milk. You can get the little tins of evaporated milk, right? Mm-hmm. So you put in a teaspoon of that, and don't ask me what it does, but it does something, right? Because the taste is completely different with or without it. So then you put that in and you mix that up. Then once you've done that, you then put in, basically you've got a crema powder, which you can buy just about everywhere. It's like flour, basically, in a little packet. So they put a teaspoon of that in as well. So you've got your condensed milk, your crema powder, and your evaporated milk. Right?
Yes.
And your hot coffee that's in, your hot tea that's in the bottom, your hot matcha tea that's in the bottom. So you mix all of that up until it's fully mixed in. That's fine. Then you put your milk in. Then you put your ice cubes in. And you are rock and roll. I got to say, it is just absolutely unbelievable. And here it's about, I think it's about $1.50. I think it's about $1.50 or $2 for half a litre, basically, when we're buying it, or when I buy it in the mornings. And it is absolutely stupendous. It's awesome.
Oh,
So when I'm back, Sash, because I'll let all the viewers know that I'll be back in Australia on the 7th of November, around about that time. So when I catch up with you, I will try and find the ingredients. And when I'm down at the House of Oleology, Sash, I will try and knock you up a matcha latte.
Wow, that would be pretty special. I feel like this is going to become a short-term cooking show as well.
Well, it might be. I might have a oleology apron adorned, and I might be in the small sort of cooking area that oleology has, maybe in their little cafe section, and mixing up a matcha latte for the viewers. Might have to be a separate video on that.
Thinking, actually, just going back, I went down old memory lane the other day. Yeah. And because people were asking about the magic of, and shout out to Oleology and shout out to MySelects. Yeah. When we originally did all of those episodes ago, when we did the demonstration of the oil in the water, and you obviously making sure safety as a priority, even had face shields on and high vis in our little makeshift lab many moons ago. Yeah. And it'd be good to bring some of that magic back in the form of a matcha iced latte.
Yeah. Iced latte, Sash. And I remember doing one about the particular usage of a coffee machine and wearing just as much safety equipment when I was working the coffee machine.
Oh my gosh.
That was an interesting episode as well. But look, for all the viewers out there, and hello to you, and I hope that your Friday is going stupendously well. And even if that's an English word, I don't know, but who cares? I'll just use it. And shout out to you all. I hope your heart and your brains are in the right place this morning. And if they're not, reach out for some help and certainly get somebody to look after you while you're going through a little bit of a moment. If you are or you are having one, remember, ask somebody for help and don't try and do it all by yourself. But Sash, speaking about doing things by yourself, I was making a cup of coffee this morning, and obviously, look, I have an issue because my coffee machine has somewhat gummed up this morning, and I need to go and get it fixed. So I had to make myself a French press coffee. So my coffee grinder works stupendously well. So what I did was I turned the grind up a little bit, make it a bit more coarse because it's going to go into the coffee, into the French press, blah, blah, blah. Put it in there, made myself a black coffee that I believe could have killed any horse that was on the planet pretty much if horses drank coffee, right? Because it was so bitter that I couldn't drink it, right? I thought to myself, no, this is really loose, right? My body's going to collapse. There's no way I'm going to drink this, right? And then I remembered something that I'd read a little while ago from a chef who said, and I think it's a chef, somebody might remind me in the comments below, but the point was that if you added a small amount of salt, not sugar, to your overly right cup of black coffee that was a little bit bitter, that it would take the bitterness away. So I thought, well, if I'm going to test everything, it's going to be this nuclear-powered cup of coffee that I've basically made myself this morning. So I did. I took a little bit. I made sure that it wasn't pomp du rot, or what they call MSG here, which is pomp du rot in Thai. So I made sure it wasn't that. I made sure that, of course, the crystals are a little bit smaller when it's sugar. So when it's salt. So I put the salt in the coffee, just a little dash, mixed it up, and Sash, totally different cup of coffee, totally different.
Oh my goodness.
Like bitterness gone completely. I could drink it black, no problem at all. It actually had a little bit of a sweet taste to it, which it never had before.
Ooh.
Enlightened, totally enlightened. So, swinging back to the clergy and the habits and all of that sort of stuff that we went through earlier on, it is a revelation, Sash, an absolute revelation. So if you happen to be at a restaurant, you happen to be at a place and somebody gives you a less than average cup of coffee and she's a little bit bitter and you can't get into it because it's too bitter, just a little bit of salt in the top of the coffee. Mix it up, people. Give it a shot because it's revolutionary.
Amazing. Look, what a day to have a revelation on Bow Tie Friday.
Oh, Bow Tie
That's what
Friday.
these days are for.
Well, exactly right, Sash. Exactly right.
If anyone else has had a revelation, we want to see them comment below.
Yeah.
Who knows what people are learning on a Friday? My goodness.
Sash, you know that your Uncle Chriso can walk on water so long as it's only half a centimetre high. And I walk on water and through puddles all the time, Sash.
I've seen it happen.
And I don't sink down. I don't sweat the small stuff, Sash. I don't sweat the big stuff either. But when it comes to a sour coffee and a bit of coffee, Sash, I'm a bit mortified, to tell you the truth. And having that revelation this morning of just a small dash of forget the little pinch load of sugar makes everything, forget the Mary Poppins, Sash, just a little pinch load of salt and everything's just better.
That's amazing. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Chris.
So am I, as a matter of fact. So shout out to me this morning. Hello, me. How are you going?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. So yes. Yeah. So all good, Sash. All good.
Excellent. Well, I am very much looking forward to you coming down and we can get together within the Perth studio, which will be amazing. So that will be stay tuned, all fellow watchers, subscribers and such. And actually, if for whatever reason you can't find our videos on LinkedIn or such, it's probably because you should be heading to YouTube. So head there and don't miss out on the next videos.
The other thing we could do, Sash, depending on how the viewers feel and all that sort of stuff, because some of our viewers are in the centre of Perth and stuff and they can't get out in bits and pieces as well. So, we might even, we could even organise and just see whether we drive into town, pick a cafe for an hour or so and just tell everybody that we're going to be there. And if anybody wants to swing through and say howdy hody, they can swing through and say hi.
I think that's a great idea.
And then we
bring the show to the people.
Yeah. And then we can just do a little 5-minute video while they're there. And then we can link all of those 5-minute videos together and have a Bow Tie Friday on the fly.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes. That sounds fabulous. Let's do it.
Get everybody back on the bus, get everybody heading in the right direction, all of that sort of stuff. So,
Their workplaces will never see efficiency at its highest until after they've seen us in the morning and then continue on with their workday. So I think that's fabulous, Chris. Let's set it in motion. Done.
It's a Friday, Sar. So the bottom line is that nobody's ever productive. Well, I just say it on the lowdown, right? But you're never really 100% productive on a Friday. Come on, like, hello. This is me you're talking to, Australia, right? I know you're not productive on a Friday. Ease up. You're already thinking about what you're going to do on the weekend and, like what barbecues you're going to, or what presents and fancy dress you got to wear on Saturday night or whatever, even if you're by yourself. I know there's some people out there that dress in fancy dress when they're by themselves. You've been found out. But that's all right. I've done that myself on a number of occasions.
They've been sprung.
Yeah. So, Sash, I think that's, look, I'd just like to say to everybody to take care of yourself, make sure everything's all good. Spend the weekend with the people that you like. And if you don't like them, don't spend the weekend with them. Like that's just the bottom line.
Good idea.
But bottom line is make sure that your ground zero is still your ground zero. Look after yourselves, look after your heart, look after other people's heart. Be nice. It doesn't cost you anything, really. A cup of coffee will cost you something, but be nice doesn't. It's all an attitude, people. So, with that in hand, Sash, I'd just like to say, stay well, stay happy, and value
your time.
Yes.